There's no concept of an easy life. You have to go through a lot to achieve your goals. If you think you can be that rare case who's going to achieve big in life with no effort and hard work, you're just daydreaming. You have to strive and fight hard for whatever you want. Your consistency and determination are everything. There's no magical someday. You have to work on yourself and work on making things happen. Coming up, I'm going to be sharing some of my pointers to take into consideration, really understand where you want to go and some of the actions to get there. What's going on, guys? If you're new to the channel and like personal development, hit that subscribe button. If at any point you like what you see, then give it a little thumbs up. If not, you can give it thumbs down. Just share some comments on there. Personal growth isn't just learning what exactly you want to do. It's about putting that information into action. For that, you need to get up and you need to work. You need a proper plan to not lose track of where you are. It's a real commitment. Absorbing self-help information and quotes isn't enough. Self-help, personal growth into its deeper meaning connects with the change in your behavior, attitude and action. Now, all of these videos I make, it means nothing if you're not going to do anything with it. Now, if you're just looking for a bit of knowledge, then great. If you want to make serious change, you've got to take steps and you've got to make action. There's no point in reading a self-help book unless you want to actually change and you want to improve yourself. So let's get on to my pointers to help here. So my first one is know what you want. For your personal growth, first of all, you need to know what exactly it is you want. So know your path clearly and where to head. There must be a clear map in your mind, at least as a minimum, where you're heading and what your destination is. For instance, do you want to change your daily routine, make a healthier living? Do you want a new position, job? Do you want to increase your finances? It can be anything. Purpose or struggle is different for everyone. But there's undoubtedly something that keeps you going, and you need to know what that is for you to make your life more purposeful. Obviously, there's 100 things that you crave for, but everything is not your goal. So you need to know what your primary purpose is going to be. And look, the thing is, if I go back to when I was younger, I never knew what my purpose was or what I wanted to do. I kind of did, and then things got thrown off. I had a medical condition, I wasn't allowed to do what I wanted to do. And then I kind of just went on this strange journey of not really knowing what I wanted to do, went into one thing, went into another. And that's kind of what happens to some people. If you're there right now listening to this and thinking, well, I don't know what I want to do, that's okay. That's quite normal. Look for some advice. Look for a mentor that can maybe ask those questions. Even if you decide you want to do something now and that changes, well, that's just the way life goes. No, there's no point in coming up with some bullshit saying, well, what you want to do now is going to be, the rest of your life. For some people it might be, but they're quite rare cases. Life changes. Things change around you. Things that you want to do change. Okay, number 2 pointer is know your why. So after getting to know what exactly it is you want, your next step is to really now start questioning that why. Why do you want that something that's so specific? Is it something that will be helpful to you in life or make your life more productive? You need to ask yourself that question, why? And then ask why again. Maybe you're just thinking that you want to do something specific for only an improvement, but there are always some more profound reasons. Dig into your mind and see exactly what it is that you want and why. And then reconfirm again, is this really what I want to do? Okay, point number 3 then is write down your journey. So pre-planning the journey is one of the characteristics of successful people. So if you want to achieve something, to develop yourself on a personal level, you must know what changes you want and where do you see yourself in the future. Remember that typical question from every interview, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I have kind of mixed emotions about that sometimes because you never know what is going to happen, like I said, and I think 5 years is quite a long time. I ask any 20-year-old, 25-year-old, I ask myself that, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But it can be quite a hard question to ask somebody just off the bat. I've done it myself, I've asked people it, and sometimes I think afterwards, I should really ask that question. I do look at myself in the future and look at where I want to be. Again, things do change, but it's good to have that purpose and that aim. Yeah, so write down your journey where you can. Just have to be bullet points and see where you'd like to see yourself, or at least have markers and milestones. Point number 4, go step by step. By now, you've been quite familiar with the phrase start with small steps or go step by step. And obviously you want to know what it means. This is going to help you keep the motivation that you want, so you don't run too fast. There's no need for you to be in a hurry. It can be, this is something that's going to take time. Having those small steps, those small milestones is going to help you get there. And the chances of you giving up are going to reduce, as it can be quite difficult and it can be a lot to handle. So go with small, manageable steps, bite-sized chunks to get a hold of what it is that you're aiming for. Okay, point number 5 is order your tasks. Prioritize what you want to do first, or should I say the most important stuff first. For instance, take an example of your daily routine. If you do small things first and leave little time to do the more essential elements, you don't always get that satisfaction of things being completed. There'll always be that guilt that something was left, or you'll feel as if you've wasted your day. So order your tasks in your action plan to make it more effective. Number 6 is make a schedule. You need to admit that it's impossible to do things before time without a bit of a schedule and with some organisation. We're human beings and we sometimes get lazy. No matter how hard we try not to, it happens every now and again. There's a solution to this. In your action plan, schedule every task of yours, give yourself a deadline. And remember, in this plan, you're the boss of yourself. So order yourself to complete the assigned tasks as per the schedule in any condition. It will take you some time. You'll understand the importance of it when it starts to work. When I look at my own day-to-day tasks, I have a full-time job which can be very, very busy. I've got other things I like to do outside of that. Without having these things scheduled, I have everything in my Outlook calendar. That is that's basically how I manage my life. Everything goes on there, but it helps me complete tasks. I don't just put in my calendar meetings, I put things I want to do. So if I need to do something specific like a task, I schedule time out of my diary to complete that task. Whereas a lot of people will just use an Outlook calendar or a diary or whatever scheduling just to have meetings. You don't need to do that. You can schedule in specific tasks. There's all different ways and you need to find what works for you. Everyone's different. Number 7, point out what's hindering you. You might be observing some blocks in your journey by now, or once you've written your action plan. Check out and have a look and circle what your enemies are. What's hindering you? What are your blockers? And then see how you can get rid of those blocks, or at least reframe them or reduce that block so it's not as big. You need to look at what the obstacles are before you start, and you need to understand what they are so you can maybe do something to reduce those before you get going. You're going to get blocks anyway, no matter what. That just happens. If you just prepare the right way, you're going to eliminate some of those, maybe at the first hurdle, the second hurdle. But the most important part is just to get going. And you know what? In my personal opinion, if you miss that step out and you just get going, that's the most important part, because most people don't even get started. Get started, but if you can and you're in that momentum, then have a look at what your obstacles are potentially going to be and if you can reduce those. Number 8 is get your coaching on. It's okay to feel weak sometimes. It's okay to have problems, imperfections. That's normal. We're born human and hopefully we stay human, so it's normal. There are times when you feel you'll never be able to achieve something. That's okay. That's the way things sometimes look. Some things look impossible sometimes, they look like giants. But turn towards a mentor or a coach if you need to, someone or something that inspires you. It's okay to take that help. It doesn't define you as a weak person. Many successful personalities turn towards external tools for support and bounce back with more momentum. Whenever I need some support, I'll pick the phone up to somebody I know who's going to give me that, not the advice I want to hear, probably the opposite. I'd speak to somebody who I know is going to give me the honest advice I need to hear, or ask me the questions that I maybe not asked myself. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and that's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how you start to get closer to achieving goals. Number 9 is keep a good check on your plan. As mentioned earlier, you can procrastinate, but it's okay at times. The key is to not keep repeating the same mistakes. As a trick, you just keep checking your action plan. Just keep going back to your action plan. Every day you check to see how you're getting on. Don't need anything fancy. There's no science behind this. It's just about being consistent and checking what it was that you put together in the first place of your action plan. It just gives you that little motivation and that little sense check that you're on the right track or not. Number 10 is reward yourself. It takes time and it can be very difficult, but you can't make yourself tired at the same time throughout this process. There needs to be some element element of reward. The best way to do that is by setting the milestones, and in some of those milestones you might set yourself a little reward to help. Rewards are going to work. They're going to keep you motivated, make it a bit more enjoyable, because sometimes it can be stressful depending on what it is that you're aiming towards. Well, that's it for today, everyone. If you have enjoyed the content and haven't already, I'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, and while you're at it, you can give it a little thumbs up. Obviously, if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down and put some comments in the box to tell us what it is that you don't like. If you'd like to be notified of future episodes, you can click the little notification bell. This has been Richard Rozer. Peace out.